And you're back for another episode of For the Lads, where we'll be joined by Master Lukey for another Master Lukey's Monday, where we'll be going over the recent fan questions and doing a giveaway and seeing what recent exploits Master Lukey's been up to over in Las Vegas. And make sure you leave another good question for next week, because we'll be doing another giveaway, so stay tuned. And welcome back to another episode of For the Lads, Master Lukey Mondays. And like always,
Yes.
brother, I appreciate you being on, Master Lukey.
James, you are the lad of lads.
Thanks, brother.
Legend.
Thanks, mate. You too, eh? But, so we'll start off with our fan questions. Are you ready to go?
Hell yeah.
Okay, here
What's
we
up,
go.
fans?
All right, so first question. What's one piece of advice you would give to a young fighter, and do you see Topuria as the future GOAT of the sport?
Wow. I get that question a lot. Hang on one second. I'm doing a podcast. What do you need? No. Wait for me. Holy.
Always on the
kids,
grind.
right? They're thinking of the end goal. They go, oh, Ilia Topuria. Wow, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
You know, they see, I guess it's from all sports. You only really see the trophy.
Yeah.
It's like, the trophy. But something so valuable, it had to take so much to make it that, you know. So what I would say to anybody who's going to get involved in mixed martial arts, and there's a couple ways to phrase it. Some people go, oh, live in the moment. The idea is this. We touched upon it when I said, when you're dead tired and you want to quit, that's when the fight starts.
Mm.
And that's the metaphor to me of fighting, is that the very word itself, it doesn't mean winning.
Mm.
Fighting is like you have to overcome. So anybody who's thinking of, I see guys, they go, oh yeah, I'm going to be in the UFC in 5 years. I'm going to be champion one day. And just wait for me, bro. Wait for me, man. Holy. Where was I? Okay, they're outcome oriented, which is definitely, you should have a goal, but you have to be process oriented, and you have to be able to enjoy not winning.
Mm.
And that's really like being a connoisseur of pain. Like when you're doing your weightlifting, for people, I think weightlifting is more common than MMA maybe. There's a certain type of pain that they're chasing, that pump, that burning, right? Different from being injured. And when you're doing MMA, there's the soreness, like the skin soreness, the muscle soreness, the joint soreness. There's different types of pain, and all of them don't feel good.
Mm.
And that's just as a metaphor, because the cardio pain, you know, when you get past your lung capacity and you're fucking pushing yourself, these are all moments that outnumber that trophy.
Mm.
That's what the trophy really represents, is, you know, what they call the sacrifice. So For the lad who wants advice, figure out a way to enjoy not winning.
Like
They call it,
just enjoy the process.
yeah, but even the process is gonna have its ups and downs. You don't have to figure out a way to enjoy winning. That's gonna feel good when you tap somebody out, or you reverse somebody, you have a good sparring, you have a good pad session. I don't have to tell you to enjoy that.
Mm.
The metaphor, I would say, maybe the samurai had oni masks, which is a demon face
Mm.
with a smile on it, to remind themselves, whether they knew it or not, to remind themselves to somehow find enjoyment in that brutal, horrible, evil
Yeah.
battle. We glorify it because we see it in the movies and we see it on TV. But I'm telling you, you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's why most people don't become fighters or stick it to it, because it's really not good.
Mm.
You're doing something that's completely unnatural to kill another being. And to be honest, normal people don't do that.
Yeah,
Get
that's
into fitness. Yeah, I saw an interview with Khabib the other day. He says, my kids do gymnastics.
yeah.
They don't need to learn how to fight.
Yeah. Well, they didn't grow up poor like Khabib did. They a lot of the best fighters come from a lot of hardship, and there's probably a reason for that. You know, they don't have as many options, and they tend to have more of that killer instinct. Would you agree?
That's definitely something that is an aspect of fighting. And you know who had good, I don't know if you could teach that. There was moves that I saw Kimbo do. Now, Kimbo, remember Kimbo, right?
Yeah, Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice, he wasn't very technical, but he had an instinct that
Mm.
I saw even as far back as his backyard fights. It's just knowing what shot to throw, whether it was a complicated combo or whatever. He had that instinct.
Mm.
And you're right, it's a killer instinct.
Yeah.
But that'll only take you so far. You do need the technique, and to develop that technique,
Yeah.
even forget about the pain metaphor, the repetition, the monotony, doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So for the kid, for the lad who wants to know about getting started, just approach it from having fun. Don't approach it as a career. You're not going to make it. And if you approach it from having fun, there's no pressure to win or lose. You just think of it as a learning experience. Everything that happens is learning. And then reach out to me if you have any other questions. But you do have to make sure that you're training in a proper environment, especially when you're starting out,
Mm.
not some place that's going to do stupid shit and make you get injured.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you feel that just some guys sort of they going in too hard, too heavy, too quickly before they've even gone through the
Nah,
hard
not even
yards.
that.
Like
Not even that.
not
They
even
used to
that.
call that. Nope. They used to call it throwing the guy to the wolves. Get
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get
yeah.
let him be work for the pros, and then
Well,
on to the next one. What I'm saying is, and I got a whole system for training.
mm,
Most all gyms aren't safe.
no,
You see
definitely.
on Instagram, and it's not even because they're trying to be tough or whatever.
Mm,
They're just not training properly because there's no master anymore. When you used to do karate in Japan, or in the early days when it came to America, there was a lineage, and that lineage goes back to the temple,
mm,
where the human life is sacred,
yeah.
and we learned to protect ourselves and each other This is before or not. This is not prize fighting, where now prize fighting, something is actually more valuable than a human life
Hmm.
because they put a number on it. So that carelessness, I believe, traces all the way down the line, and you end up with a sparring class at your local MMA gym, and all they're wearing is gloves and a mouthpiece, and there's no rhyme, reason, or rules. Everybody's sparring on the same mat. You got some other guy 5 feet away from you. He's going to step on your ankle, break your knee by accident. There's no headgear.
Hmm.
And then you see these videos on Instagram. They go, "Oh yeah, was he going too hard?" And they show these guys, getting after it and sparring.
Yeah.
It should never get to that point that there's a question. It's like, oh, let's go to a union, a metal workers union, or electrical union, and let's have a question. Oh, do you think he's doing it right? He's doing it by the book
Hmm.
for safety. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I
But
thought I'd mention as
all the
well
gyms are like operating.
that
Nobody's in charge.
that's like that Eastern versus Western style. Like when you're talking about like Eastern martial arts gyms and stuff like that versus Western gyms more that kickboxing, boxing, wrestling style. But I will also mention something that you did mention, right? Is you've got to train the way you compete. And in the Western style, like yeah, it's probably like long term wise for your health isn't the best, but it for competitive advantage, like the hard sparring and that definitely would have its place. Would you agree?
So they call them gym wars,
Hmm.
and it's, if not equal, it's very close to a fight.
Yeah.
Especially you start visiting like sister schools or brother schools. My coach had a business partner in another part of the state, and we used to go there and spar
Yeah.
and basically have a fucking real fight. I would say the only difference would be like the amount of equipment and the the idea that if you hurt somebody, if they got wobbled or you got them with a good shot, you would lay off a little bit,
Hmm.
let them
Definitely.
recover
Yeah.
instead of going in for the finish like you would in like a real fight.
Hmm.
So, do I think it's necessary? There's a couple ways to look at it. One would be, okay, you need to at least taste that intensity where the other guy does not give a crap about your life.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, he's thinking that it's him or you. So that's something that you can't even get in these gym wars. Like I said, they're going to break it up or they're going to lay off if you're getting hurt. They're
Hmm.
not going to try to literally kill you unless the judge or the referee jumps in.
Hmm.
So that you can't even get in sparring, mate. But you do need to have hard training. And I don't know any other way because that's the way I came up. But on the other side of the coin, I will say that in Thailand, they they fight, especially when they're coming up every week or several times a month. So they can't risk sparring hard and jeopardizing that payday because that's like food on the table.
Hmm.
So some people say you don't even need to do hard sparring. You can do the cat sparring, as they say.
Well, definitely if you're fighting that oftenly, like it's just. I mean, if you have 350 fights and gym wars, yeah, like that ain't conducive for a long life. That's for sure.
And the Thais don't really live long
No,
either.
yeah,
The
fair.
fighters, the
Yeah,
fighters die young.
yeah. Well, it's a tough way to.
So
I mean, like I was saying before, if you come from somewhere where you don't have a lot of choices like they do there, like or like my wife's from the Philippines. In the Philippines, I'm gonna go on a small tangent, but in the Philippines, to even have a job in McDonald's, you got to finish high school. And then over there, you got kids running around on the streets, never done one day of schooling in their life. They're fucked, like, unless they can somehow be the next Manny Pacquiao, if they can even get a look in a gym, like, that's going to make a tough person. Where, like, over here, our lives are a lot easier, you know what I mean? Like, to get that same level of grit as you would as, like, someone coming from Thailand. Where they got a whole heap of people. They got if they manage to become pro and be half decent, they got a whole heap of people that are counting on them. So, I would imagine that would make you a hungry person.
Gotta stay hungry.
That's it, man. So, second part of his question is, where do you see Topuria as like in the future GOAT of the sport? Do you reckon he has the potential to get up there? And just while you mention on that, I'm just gonna grab the aircon because it's bloody stinking hot over here. But yeah, I'm listening.
I'll run with it. Ilia Topuria definitely has GOAT capabilities. Number one, he's got the one-hitter quitter. And to back that up with his jiu-jitsu and his grappling, that's really all you need. He's got the knockouts and he's got the grappling to either stay safe on the ground if he gets taken down. I believe his first 7 wins are from submissions. He only recently found his knockout punch. And he's at the perfect age where he's got the man strength and the strategy, but still young enough where he's fast. I could see, it's a young man's sport. These guys we're not talking 20-year career here. I could see him being champion for 5 years. Easy. Yeah. The style to beat the boxer is the kickboxer. And, not that kickboxing does beat boxing, but that's what it would be. This fighter that does beat Ilia, I believe, will be a kickboxer. Unless his grappling is sus, I don't know. He looks to be pretty sealed up on
well-rounded
on the ground.
And like you said, like the style, we'll just go from standing. The style to beat a boxer is a kickboxer, but funny way is the style to beat a kickboxer is a boxer as well. Like, it's both things can be true at the same time. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, and you know what? He might get outboxed. He's not flawless.
Yeah.
Anybody's hittable and nobody's punch proof.
Yeah.
And it could be, the double-edged sword that gets him in the end. But as far as him getting GOAT status, like,
it's pretty
if you look at no, I was gonna say he's pretty much there. I mean, if you look at the other people who get called the GOAT, he's got those attributes, which is a super solid plan A. He's already knocked out a bunch of guys. And his plan B is also very tight, his grappling. So the one critique that I have seen is the same one that they're giving to Jones, which is that the legends that he built his resume on are all washed.
I don't agree with that, though, because they're still at the top. You know what I mean? They're still champions. Like, Volk went back and now he's champion of the division. He just left. Max just KO'd Gaethje and, and just had that win with Poirier. And, like, so I don't think anyone I don't think he's washed. I think I don't think Oliveira's washed either. I think they're all at the top just because they've been at the top for a while. And I would say that I think maybe Volk isn't at his peak best. But again, like, if this is your prime, he's on the back end of the bell curve. But they're all still massive wins. I think where he might come unglued is by going for a third weight division title instead of just dominating one division where it fits him well.
Right.
That's my opinion. And like I said before, I think if Islam and him were to fight in that division, I'd give him a pretty good chance. But I think if he goes up and fights Islam, I think Islam
Ah,
will be able to carry the weight better. But that's just how I see it.
nah, I agree.
But yeah, very good
Yep, yep.
question. Uh,
Yeah, good one, lad.
so we'll move on to the next one. If if you were booking the White House card, how many title fights would you have, and would you let some of the older guys participate, like John Jones, Nate Diaz, and Connor? Would be a great spot for Max and Ilya BMF title bout. Diaz McGregor trilogy and Jones Aspinall could be a crazy card. I wish the
Mm.
UFC would let the fans vote. I guess he means like vote on who gets to be on the card.
Oh, right.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, I think that card will 100% be stacked because like that'll never happen again. Like that'll be a one and done. I don't see any other president letting that happen. And I think I think we'll get Connor on there for one off and possibly Jones. I think they'll stack it. What about you? I mean, the
Mm.
question's for you, Master Lukey, not for me. So you
Yes.
shoot away.
Well, you answered the way I would have answered, but I am gonna tack something onto that because I know there's a bunch of stuff to go over, so we'll just go quickly through this one. But let's just say yes, all the titles.
Mm,
Yes, all the legends. Everybody's gonna be stepping over their mother to get on that card.
mm.
But the thing that I just thought about, James, was what you said about this being a once in a lifetime thing. You ever heard of the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah,
All right, so just hear me out on this.
yeah.
In the future, it's one nation, the whole world,
Mm.
under AI or whatever, the government.
Globalists are already pushing for it, but yeah,
All right? So everything is, just for an example, United States.
yeah.
It's the United States Ultimate Fighting Championship. You get it? It's like the United States. Do you have Walmart over there?
No, we don't actually.
Okay. Do you have
I know what it
like
is though.
okay, yeah, like a food store.
Yeah.
Okay, World Government Food Store. You know, I don't think this is gonna be one and done. How about that? I think back in the day, like maybe 10 years ago, it was like UFC sponsored by U.S. Army.
Yeah, yeah. The fight for
You
the
remember
troops.
that?
Yeah, the fight for the troops stuff.
And that wasn't just that event. They had several events
Oh,
where the
really?
U.S. Army was advertising
Sorry.
on the air during the pay-per-view.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta go back and rewatch all my stuff.
It's just like a commercial, but
Yeah,
the government has an
I
interest
do. I do
in
remember it.
super soldiers.
Yeah. Hey man, whatever's gonna give us big fights is, I'm down for. I can definitely appreciate some people pointing out the ridiculousness of it, but hey, like I said, you will get the most stacked card they could possibly give us, and like as a fan, I ain't gonna be mad about that, and like. I get some people's gripes with Trump, but sometimes the ridiculousness of it, can be amusing. So I'll just go with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
anything else you want to add to that question, brother?
Next.
Next one. Okay, so next one is we need Sean, I guess he means Sean O'Malley versus Henry Cejudo to fight this year. What do you reckon of that? Do you
Yo.
reckon that'd be a good fight?
Signed.
And hey,
Signed.
get it signed? How do you reckon that would go?
I think Cejudo's washed, to be honest.
I think it's a good fight for Sean.
He looked like dog against the last guy.
I think he's still
Hesitant on the
good, but
feet.
I think he's still good, but I don't. Yeah, I think he's not what he was a few years ago, and it's a good fight for Sean. And honestly,
He
it's a
tricked
good
himself
fight.
to thinking that he was a good fight, that he was a good striker. I don't
Yeah,
know how he did that, but he looked like absolute dog against the last guy.
a lot of
Sorry, I cut you off.
wrestlers, like even Hughes and like a lot of good wrestlers, they tend to do that though. Have you noticed that over the years?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Then Justin Gaethje admitted it. He literally admitted that wrestling is too hard for him. That's why he took up the striking. It's easier to just swing hard, take a
Yeah,
rest, yada yada,
yeah,
and that's unfortunate because it's almost embarrassing that some of these strikes, some of these UFC matches, just devolve into a knock'em sock'em slobber knocker.
mm. Hey man, I
It's
guess
supposed to be the
if you got the punching power of a Justin Gaethje, I guess but
yeah.
he's got elite wrestling, so I do agree. I see where you're coming from.
So I think as they get older,
Yeah,
the wrestlers they find a little success, maybe in the gym.
mm.
They're sparring with guys who are not UFC fighters. They're not UFC champions, and they start to do good, and they think, "Oh, I can do this."
Mm.
And here's a saying from Matt Lindland. Matt Lindland says, "Your absolute worst day on the pads, absolute worst. That's the best you can do in sparring. And your absolute worst sparring day is the best you're going to do in an actual fight."
Mm. That's,
Whether that's true or not,
I see
I
where
think
he's
that's a good
going.
way to look at it,
Yeah.
to plan for that.
Mm.
And yeah, it's mixed martial arts and you have to know everything. But I think Henry spent his entire life wrestling. And
Mm.
if I was his coach, I would teach him footwork, I would teach him striking. But as far as the strategy goes, we're shooting for shoelaces.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't
Maybe throw
disagree with
some
that,
head
mate.
kicks
I
in there.
reckon I 100% agree.
The one thing, if Henry gets to see this, the one thing I will say, kicks go well with wrestling.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot of gas too. You
Yeah.
start throwing kicks, you're gonna get way more tired. It's math.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Ilya is very hand heavy,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's the smartest strategy.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not.
Ilya's like heavy hands because he's got great. I mean, obviously it's genetics, but he's got great technique, timing, all of that. It's very different to like a Gaethje. And I'm not saying Gaethje's a bad striker. I'm not saying that. But
Sloppy.
Gaethje, yeah, it's just swinging, and if you're in the way, you're going to get knocked out. Where Ilya's reading you, and then bang, he's timing him with something, and that's why they're so heavy. Obviously, he's got genetics to hit hard as well, but he's setting them up. He's not like
Yeah,
trying to force it.
technical for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to the
How's that?
next one. Is he still doing the live foods thing? I know he
Yeah,
was big on the alternative diet, so I was wondering what
yeah.
he's been up to now with that on that front.
Cool, cool. I appreciate that. Whoever was the lad who sent that message, I appreciate it.
That one's
I'm
from
going.
Sherdog.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
from the old Sherdog
Sure
forum.
Dog's still
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Holy.
The first few were in the comment section, and this one's from Sherdog. So we got a couple of Sherdog ones.
All right. Awesome. So let's let me share my screen with you.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, and now I'm gonna go to masterlukey.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Second one down says life food. This is my website, Life Food Certified. Okay. So there's a recipe that my teacher, Dr. Job, gave me.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Rejuvelac, and it it's using a fermented grain, which is called farro. It's known as an ancient grain. And it's got a cousin called kvass. It's a Russian drink they make out of barley.
Mm.
This one is a different grain, but it's a similar concept where the the grain sits as a mash, and the tea that goes on top in the big bucket that I make it in, the tea ferments the healthy bacteria from the farro, the ancient grain.
Mm.
The healthy bacteria basically eats the sugar of the tea because I put a coconut palm sugar in there. It's got this probiotic in there called Flora Grow from my
Yeah.
teacher, Dr. Jubb. And over 3 days, this starts as a black tea. It becomes slightly effervescent, and it has kind of a citrusy ferment taste, comparable to kombucha or a very super duper light non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna experiment with it to see what what I can do to make it maybe more alcoholic or more sparkling. I think there's a possibility for this to be not only a product but a movement.
Okay.
And here's what I mean. I I go to every day at 6 a.m. I go to the auto shop and I bring a bottle of this drink to um, his name is Kip.
Mm.
Okay. So Kip, he kept saying, I got to give you some money, right? I said, well, here's the deal. I want to get a commercial van or a bus. I got this non-profit corporation here. So I don't really want to charge you, and maybe you could just hook me up.
Mm.
All right. So this is like 2 months ago.
So how did it go?
The other day, I, I brought it up again because I want to build up a credit. I don't just want to like get it right away. I gotta
Mm.
establish some value. He goes, I was telling him about the van, the bus. He goes, what about the Ghostbusters car?
What do you mean? What do you mean about? What about the Ghostbusters car? Like he's got one that's similar. Oh, look out! That's
Sitting
cool.
in the back of his lot, I felt like the Karate Kid.
Yeah, that's yeah, true. Nice. That's cool, man.
He's gonna give it to
Nice.
me.
True. That's
He
cool, man.
goes, it needs a little, might need a little detail work.
Mm.
I go, it doesn't look like it runs, bro.
Yeah.
He goes, no, it runs.
Oh,
He's
true.
even gonna put a new tranny in for me.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, bro.
So, if I can make this happen, there's room in here for, I could see at least four 50-gallon drums
Yeah.
of this beverage,
Yeah.
and I could pull up to a farmer's market, a gymnasium,
Yeah.
any social event, or even anywhere
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
and have a megaphone, maybe a microphone, or whatever. We'll see what happens. This is all connected to Life Food Certified,
Mm.
which is, it's not where I got my health coach title from, but it has to do with that because this is the primary certification that I put forward and the program that I use.
Mm.
Since 2013,
Mm.
I've been strictly Life Food Certified, not even one cheat meal. And that's not only for my health, but also for my business.
Mm.
You get it? Because I'm promoting something. I
Yeah.
am the testimonial.
Yeah.
And it involves a menu, which you can learn more about. We got this page Learn here. It's got a list of ingredients and then some books and video.
Mm.
And it also has a cleanse, which we won't really get into too much now. We'll go to the next question, but it's natural healing, and
Mm. That.
I do it because it helps.
Yeah.
And I'm not an ethical vegan. I'm a plant-based athlete, all
Mm.
natural. Never did any drugs, no surgery.
Mm.
I mean, I have had surgery, but I never did any performance-enhancing drugs or anything like that.
Mm.
So for me to do this or recommend it to somebody is simply because of the benefits that I get, and not because I'm trying to be something like
Mm.
moral or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, and that van will be dope as well. Like, there's a lot of things you'll be able to do with that. You
Although
know.
there is, I'll just say one last thing. There is an environmental impact of our food choices, and that's a major,
Mm.
like the yin yang, the benefit us, the benefit to the environment.
Yeah.
So it's a spiritual mission that I've been on, James, and I'm appreciative of you being on the team and
Uh,
all the lads watching. That was a good question. I appreciate it. Sure, dog.
sure, dog, mate. Old school.
Surprised that they didn't ask me if I still drink my pee. I bet you they did.
Well, there's one in here. Yeah, there's one that asked that. Did you want to? Do you still do the
Yeah.
urine
I
thing?
tell you what, I'm just say one thing on it.
Yeah.
I have a broken nose,
Yeah.
and my team doctor, she told me, because when I got it broken, Josh Koscheck broke it once.
Yeah.
Pete Dragosel broke it once. Um, and then the worst was David Torelli, who that was our second match. Our first match, I TKO'd him. The
Yeah.
second match, he soccer kicked me when
Shit.
I wasn't really thinking that it's my fault, but
Mm.
he didn't finish me. My nose turned on like a faucet, and I still almost knocked him out in the last seconds of the fight.
Yeah.
But he survived till the bell. He hung on for dear life. He came in juiced to the gills and overweight. I didn't care. I said, I'll fight you anyway,
Yeah.
even though he didn't make weight. And he hung on for dear life till the end of the fight, and he won a decision. And then instead of having a rubber match, he retired.
Yeah.
So I had 3 badly broken noses, but the worst one was one of those two. It was either Josh Koscheck or him. It was both bleeding, but I went to the buffet instead of the hospital, James.
Yeah.
My dumbass. And so the side of my nose in the middle is shifted over, and such that I can't breathe out of the left side of my nose
You
ever.
went.
I
You
get
went
like,
to the buffet instead of the. Were you that
yeah.
hungry? Like, why did you go to the
I
hospital,
think
bro?
the adrenaline, and
Yeah.
I've had my nose bleeding before, but I didn't know actually how bad it was broken.
Yeah.
So it healed. I don't know if you could see, it healed, shifted that way.
It's pretty good though.
And yeah, it's not as noticeable because the doctor gave me a septoplasty, which is pulling the tip in so it doesn't look as crooked from the front, just
Yeah.
because the whole nose is shrunken in. But why did I bring that up? Oh yeah. So actually, what I should be doing as far as urine therapy
Mm.
is snorting it, because it hydrates. There's nothing that hydrates better than pee, believe it or not.
Mm.
It's got cell salts, it's got hormones, it's got so many different things in it. And right now, I could feel like maybe 10-20% airflow. That's really not going to improve that much
Mm-hmm.
for the broken nose, but any type of reduction in inflammation would be good. So that was recommended to me as far as urine therapy goes. People have no problem drinking Prime,
Mm.
which has aspartame,
Mm.
been linked to ass cancer.
Ass cancer.
No problem
Jeez.
doing that. I was over at the mulberry tree
Yeah.
earlier part of this summer,
Yeah.
and I'm eating straight from the tree. And the cop comes over because I look out of the ordinary, eating off a tree in the suburbs. And he's asking me, "Is it safe to eat?" And he's like nibbling it, like it's gonna be poisonous or something. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, yeah, this guy has no problem going to
Yeah.
Macca's.
Macca's. Yeah.
He goes to Macca's, he gets his donuts and coffee, but a piece of fruit off the tree, that's sus.
Yeah. I guess because everything's
Yeah.
sprayed nowadays. You know what I mean?
It's because we're brainwashed, and that could be true what you just said. It's also that we're brainwashed to think that health comes from the outside.
Mm.
We got to go to the doctor to get healthy. We got to get vaccinated to get healthy. We got to take medication to get healthy.
Yeah.
But the most healthiest thing is already inside us, which is where our life comes from. It doesn't come from out there, it comes from inside.
Yeah.
So that's a mindset shift that people, I guess, in natural healing or in like indigenous populations and spirituality, they know that the world is evil, so to speak. The
Well,
world is corrupt.
Master Lukey,
Your soul is pure.
I wouldn't. Look, I'm a good bloke, but I'm not pure. Unfortunately, life has taken that away. Hey, that didn't quite
That's the
sound the
world.
way I meant it, but you know what I mean, brother. But yeah, like much love. I got heaps of love for you, Master Lukey. But
Yeah.
I'll take your word on that one, brother. I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
hey, brother,
it's levels.
I appreciate the commitment. Um,
There's levels, James. You start off with a water-rich, plant-based meal.
yeah,
Help to broom, clean you out.
yeah,
And that's the idea of natural healing. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's something that has to be cleaned. And
yeah.
then what's left, what's natural, is healthy.
Yeah. Look, I
So
love it,
even
man.
if you did
I
wrong
think it's
things,
I think it's great
you're
that
still pure.
you've got your own opinions and you're kind of zany and you're I think you're a cool bloke. I mean, but I'll take your word on that one, brother. But
Yep.
I'll give that one a pass. But
We won't do a shoey.
yeah.
Was that New Zealand? That's not
That's no, it's an Aussie. He's Aussie. But yeah, I'll probably
right
skip
on.
that one as well. I don't drink alcohol, so
Oh, right, right. There you go.
well, here's an
You get
odd
on board
one.
on that.
He has. Have you ever been abducted by an alien?
Uh, see, I grew up on cartoons, sci-fi, movies, video games. I can suspend disbelief for a good time,
Yeah,
but I can't tell if people actually believe in aliens or if they're using it as a code to describe something else, like some secret government, uh, military operation. There was one I heard where they put LSD in the water supply,
yeah. I mean, all that
and they,
stuff is documented that they have done. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but that is true. And I think they used hookers as well, and they spiked. Yeah, and the hookers spiked like their patrons' drinks and stuff. Obviously, I'd have to go, but like my memory's shot, so I'd have to go back and double. But they've done all sorts of tests on the public,
oh yeah,
and
and still,
I could, yeah, and still 100%. And I mean, so what you're saying is you're not sure if you think maybe the whole aliens thing is
yeah,
basically,
aliens, flat Earth.
yeah, flat Earth is another thing. I
You know,
think there's,
I definitely don't think we landed on the moon. I definitely don't believe in the official 9/11 story. All that false flags and all the stuff that people are saying. There's good reason why we have to go into war. I think it's all controlled and
mm,
all that. As far as aliens, though, I think that's what they call a honeypot. I think it's a
Yeah.
honeypot when they have a story that's being used to disguise
Yes.
the
Yeah.
truth.
I think they're definitely out there. Whether they've been here or not, I mean, in a lot of ways, they've been releasing a lot of stuff saying they have. Um, I think they're out there. I don't know. But until I kind of like we've talked about it before, I've seen supernatural things, and so I've seen it. So I'm pretty comfortable to say, hey, I think I'm not saying I don't know what it is, but I've seen things. So as far as aliens, I mean, they have to be out there. Whether they've been here or not, I don't know. But thank you for the question. So here's another one. How did you feel when you found out Joe Daddy Stevenson wasn't really your father?
All right. On that note, James, let's go on to the next segment of the show. I don't want to take the whole thing up on. Do we have a lot more questions from them? Skip that one. How about
We'll
that?
skip that one, yeah. Looking back at it. Okay, so looking back at your MMA career and your experience in the Ultimate Fighter TV show, if you knew what you knew back then, would you have done anything different?
Oh, mate, so much. Come on, what kind of question is that? And most people have regrets in life, and the most common regret is that they wish they had more free time.
Hmm.
I wish I stayed with my ex-wife, even though I wasn't getting along with her. I wish I had stayed with her so I could be with my sons. That's number one. Number two, speaking of Joe Daddy Stevenson, in the beginning of the second round, I did a fake jab,
Hmm.
and when I baited him to throw a jab back, and when he threw his jab, I came straight with a cross
Hmm.
and pinned him, and he got knocked backwards. And I attempted to do a flying knee, which was so premature, and I might have even been unsure about it, so I pulled it. And I basically did a jumping, flying, handing him my leg for a single leg, and I think he turned it right into a takedown. Instead of pinning him with that cross and then stalking him a little more and you know using my jab again, instead of running in,
Yeah.
should have been more patient. What else? Those are the two major ones. So
Yeah.
many. Most of the regrets I would say would be from being too hesitant
Yeah.
or not making a move
Yeah.
that it could have been a game changer. You go through these moments in life where it's like a fork in the road, and the whole rest of the life is
Yeah.
changed. So, but I try not
To dwell too
to
much
think
on.
too much about it. Yeah, I can't ever not think about my sons. But as
No.
far as my career goes, I'm always thinking of what I can do
I mean,
now.
at the end of the day, brother, yeah, exactly. I mean, you were young. That was like, it must feel like almost a lifetime ago, right? It's like 20
Yeah,
years ago.
yep, yep.
And you fought in the UFC, you know what I mean? You were very successful in the Ultimate Fighter. A lot of people would kill to have the career that you had, brother, And a lot of these people, they never even get in the cage and fight in amateur, let alone fighting in the UFC. So, I
Okay,
tipped my hat to you, brother. What you achieved is something to be very admirable of. So, it
I
always,
appreciate it, James.
yeah, no, it's true, man. I'm always impressed by you, brother.
Well, here's the thing. Alt S. I do think everything happens for a reason,
Hmm.
and I feel fortunate that I I have a platform,
Hmm.
and I can do something with it. Now, this is the back end of my my widget.
Hmm.
So give me a fight that's coming up. Anything next weekend?
Let's have a look.
You said Gon
So
is fighting?
next
That's a while from
weekend,
now.
we'll skip that one. Drickus versus Hamzat.
And that's next week or that's in 2 weeks?
Nah, that's in a couple of weeks. They've only got a couple of fight nights from now. You want one next week?
Yeah,
Okay.
what's the big one? It doesn't even have to be MMA, but what's the biggest names?
I don't even know any of these names, to be honest.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's UFC?
it's UFC, but I don't.
Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna go Tom Aspinall.
Hmm.
All right. And let's see here. We're gonna go images. Take this, right? Now you think we're gonna get flagged for this using his image?
Nah, that'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
Images and that are fine.
Okay. Great. So I'm just trying to get like a decent size here. So we'll go. I'll save this into my downloads. We'll just call this Tom. All right. And then we're going to do John Jones. Right?
Hmm.
And he's this. Trying to get a picture that's kind of. Here we go. And we got downloads. We got. Oh no, I don't want a web file. I want a picture. Open image in new tab. Here we go. Save image. Nope, still a web file. Here we go. Open image in new tab. Save image. Okay, perfect. John Jones. Okay, so now we're going to my widget here.
Hmm.
And let's see, fighter 1 is going to be, I guess, Jones, right? Because he's the challenger.
I guess so, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
wouldn't it fighter one usually be the champ? I guess it doesn't really matter either way.
Okay. So we're going to go Jones. John. Okay.
Yep.
Fighter 2. We got Aspinall. Tom. Okay.
Hmm.
Create widget. Okay, so now view the widget. Where is it? Copy widget. Now I go to masterlukey.com. And we're going to make a post. And we say John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. All right.
Hmm.
And then we go control, make sure this is HTML. We go control V and publish. Okay. Now we go to masterlukey.com, and everybody who's watching now, I want you to go to masterlukey.com. We're not voting on who you think is going to win. We're voting on the actual match. If you were to score the match from 1 to 100, say John Jones wins the decision, but it's a close match. It was somewhat action-packed. Not the most action-packed of all time, but it was pretty good.
Hmm.
Maybe he gets an 83 and Aspinall gets a 75. See, it was kind of close.
Hmm.
If you could see the screen here, I'm moving the slide bar up one at a time. goes all the way up to 100.
I don't see anything
So,
moving. I see the Jones and all that, but I don't see anything moving.
oh, let me see what we're looking at here. Mm. Oh, I see. Okay, hold on a second. Alt S. Nope. Control S. Nope, that's not it. Alt S. I did that. Alt S. Okay, here we go. Okay, here it is. Sorry about that.
Oh, yep. Now we see it.
Okay, so now we're back on MasterLukey.com.
Yep.
John Jones versus Tom Aspinall.
Mm.
Okay, so here we got John Jones. I'm kind of like, rooting for the underdog, the old school, the American. He's from New York. I don't know. But he's not my favorite fighter. He's old.
Yeah.
Uh,
But in this
I
scenario, you're
think.
going for it.
Well, I'm just giving you the thoughts behind my scoring here.
Yeah.
These all influence because look, in Master Lukey's League of Champions, it's a 5-minute match.
Mm.
There's no finishing. So even if I'm sparring with John Jones and he taps me out, we can still continue.
Mm.
He's not going to injure me. Hopefully, knock on wood. We're sparring.
Mm.
So like I was saying before, there's a difference, right? Even between hard sparring and fighting.
Mm.
So he's not going to try to kill me, but he'll probably beat me. But it's going to go 5 minutes. The reason why we're doing this before or on a match that's not going to happen is we just got to imagine that this fight happens.
Mm.
Because if one of them finishes the other one, the scoring doesn't matter.
Mm.
So let's just say this fight is going to happen. It's going to happen in Master Lukey's League, or it's a 5-minute match. However you want to think about it. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. We're not talking about how much you like him. We're talking about skill-wise, how you think the match will go. And I'm going to say John Jones, he's going to do mid-70s. I'm going to give him a 77.
Mm.
See that? Aspinall, very physically talented. I don't see him being a smart fighter. And I think he'll definitely give John Jones trouble. Maybe because I'm rooting for John Jones, but I'm going to give Aspinall a 69.
So that's like your percentage chance of winning, in your opinion?
Nope. This is the score that he's getting from me for his action during the match.
A hypothetical, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So from 1 to 100,
Yeah.
100 being the best performance of his life, the best performance of all time, I think Jones will score a 77 versus Aspinall's 60. I'm going to go a little lower, 60. Just because I want you to see the difference in how you can actually make any score you want. 63. Okay, submit. Boom. Says down at the bottom here, you have already submitted voting. I cannot vote again. Because I was the only voter, John Jones right now is sitting at 77 versus Tom Aspinall 63. Okay, guys, so everybody watching, all the lads, go to MasterLukey.com, and you guys are in the beginning of, this is a historical moment where we now have a scoring system which is not controlled by the corruption of the money system. This right now is our one moment where we're true. This is like the beginning of the United States of America. we're still for the people and by the people before the evil banksters get their hands in and start fixing fights and working matches and telling one guy to throw the fight.
Yeah.
This is where we decide based on reality. Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't vote for Aspinall because you don't like John Jones. If you're gonna give Aspinall a good score, do it based on how you think he's gonna perform against an aging GOAT. Okay? And we'll see how's that. We'll check on the next episode what the fans think of how that match would actually go. Is that cool or what?
Sounds good, brother. Check it out,
And you
guys,
guys are,
and put it up
you
what
guys
you
are
think.
all getting the like the beta testing.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's historical.
I appreciate it, brother.
And that's when I go on tour to say maybe I go to Beverly Hills and I face Ronda Rousey in an intergender championship, me versus Ronda.
Yeah.
She's obviously going to get me in the armbar, but as long as she doesn't break it, we'll be able to keep going. Maybe I'll be able to get some points on her.
I think like you're a bloke and you're bigger and strong. I don't think she'd have any chance against you.
You overestimate my grappling.
Yeah, no, I still, yeah, I'd give you a 100% chance of winning that.
The beauty of it is, both of us are walking out of that match.
Yeah.
Safe, sound, and with points.
Everyone has fun.
So if we have a charity match, if I face Ronda for the intergender championship, and we both have corporate sponsors, the more we score, the more money's going to that charity.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It could be something we could look at in the future, Bella, right?
And then as far as the pros go, they get paid on their action as well.
Yeah.
They don't have to go home with half a paycheck like the UFC does now.
Yeah.
These guys are heartbroken sometimes. You know, they want that double. They're counting on that double paycheck instead of half. You know?
Yeah, it's all and I look, I get why they do it. You know, obviously, they, you know, you're incentivized to finish. That's why they have bonuses for finish, and obviously you're incentivized to win. Otherwise, like you said, you get half a paycheck. But yeah, brother. Yeah, I mean, and there we got the van. I mean, make something happen.
Woo!
So
the van's the first step. Then it's going to be the bus.
Yeah.
And then the plane. I might have to come scoop you up.
Sounds good, Bella. You have to come and visit. Sounds good, man.
It's actually an old ambulance. It's like an ambulance from the 50s. I don't think I would want to take that across the country just because it's so old. But you never know. Those are easy to fix, I think. Easier than the new ones.
There's a lot of good gyms like around your area and talent there. Sure. And like, so there's a lot of talent already around there before you even have to worry about going interstate.
100% right.
And a lot of people, you know, you would know, or they would at least know you. So that gives you a look in, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So,
how we going?
Yeah. You ready to move on to the next thing, Bella?
So, let's see. We had the fan questions.
Yeah. So
it seems like we're getting into the other topics. Wasn't that one of them?
Yeah. So, well, before we move on to the next thing, I will just bring up the Hulk Hogan passing, you know, which is unfortunate, and I just want to give our condolences and respect to the guy. You know, like personally, I was never a huge WWF guy, but you know, always Hulk Hogan was the man. You know.
Oh yeah, he's beyond wrestling. He transcended wrestling.
Yeah, well, he, you know, with the Rocky 3, my favorite Rocky, and yeah, number 3 is my favorite. It's extra cheesy and I love it. But yeah, I mean, like, and he died like relatively young as well, like 71. I mean, like it's a passable inning, but it's still a little bit younger than you would like. And he looked pretty fit, but I guess when it's your time, it's your time.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace,
I
Hulkster.
I always have fond memories of the Hulkster for
Yeah,
sure.
that's it.
We'll be listening for your guidance, like in The Lion King when he's looking up at the sky and he sees his father. I'm gonna look up. It's gonna be Hulk Hogan,
Yeah,
Bruce Lee,
yeah. Here we go.
and
Eat your vegetables,
uh,
brother. But yeah,
nice. Might have to paint him on the side of the truck.
yeah, yeah. So I thought I would move into your Vegas trip and like how that all
Cool.
went and like
Yeah.
yeah, I'll leave you with the floor, brother.
So, when we got off last week, I'm like, oh man, I love that we can share screens now because
Mm,
so much we could do with that.
mm,
I was kind of kicking myself that I didn't record more
mm. That's all right.
because
Did you want to give the listeners
I'm a
maybe a little
little.
bit of a backstory of what happened
Yeah,
with Vegas and why you went over there?
definitely. It's they used to call me the silent assassin. A little shy, probably more than a little. So I just have to get over the hump of asking somebody, "Do you
Mm.
mind if I record?" And I was walking up and down Fremont Street, which is like, when you think of Vegas, this is the place. There's a lot of stuff to do in Vegas, but the old casinos, the panhandling, the music, the drinking, the prostitution, the drugs, it's all there on
Jeez.
one street. 2 blocks, all of Vegas in one strip there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could have got some cool interviews maybe. But I did bring my camera to the clinic. It's called the Cleveland Clinic. And I'm going to share some of that with you. So, here we go, Vegas. Share my screen. It's Control A. Nope. Alt A. Nope. Let's try this again. Alt S. Okay. I'll get it soon enough. Here we go. Vegas. Okay. The Cleveland Clinic. Here's the outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Something.
And you said it was one of the Gracie relatives that hooked you up with this. Do I remember that correctly?
So I'm writing my book, and I'm gonna show you here. I was looking for a picture of Dr. Bennett Omalu. Dr. Bennett Omalu is the doctor from the movie Concussion with Will Smith.
Concussion. Oh yeah. Yep. I don't think I've seen it, but I know the movie you're talking about.
It's about American football
Hmm.
and how he discovered that these guys were seriously injured
Hmm.
from American football.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find the video here. Let's run this one. This is Rodrigo. He is the assistant to the doctor. So he got death threats. Dr. Bennett Omalu, he got death threats.
Shit. Why?
Well, he's really uncovering a huge issue that people are dying
Hmm.
for profit, for money. Anyway, he teamed up with Chris Nowinski,
Yeah.
who was a former WWE wrestler. And Chris Nowinski runs the Concussion Legacy Foundation. So I looked into that to feature him in my book and maybe go talk to him about my league.
Mm.
Turns out he doesn't have an office. They just send people out to different spots and they study.
Mm.
They do studies. He does have an office, but he doesn't see patients. So they referred me to Rose Gracie. Rose Gracie has a foundation, a nonprofit for fighters.
Yeah. And
And
is this a relative of the Gracie family or?
Rose, I believe, is Hoyce's sister,
Oh wow. Oh well, there you go. So that's a
Horion's
big
daughter.
yes. Yeah.
I believe she's Horion's daughter. And she's in Boston,
Yeah.
but she, let's see, referred me to the Cleveland Clinic.
Mm.
And the Cleveland Clinic flew me out. They paid for one night in a hotel.
Mm.
And then the next day I came here. So Rodrigo, he's just going over what we're going to do. There's neurological testing, there's blood tests, and there's an MRI, and I get an interview with the doctor.
Mm.
Okay. So, can you hear that?
I can't hear anything from the video.
Okay. Different tests. This one is how fast can I press the space bar?
Mm. And he's worked with a lot of former champions and successful athletes and that going off his wall there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm number 2570 something
Wow.
of, yeah, on the latest one, there's 2,500 and something athletes, not just fighters, but different athletes. They started working with motocross
Mm.
and soccer,
Yeah.
anything where it could be incidental head contact. This is just, he's asking me to, when the colors match the word, I
Yeah.
press the space bar. So there's a yellow, but it's blue. Can't press it.
So it
Different
has to be
shit. I
yellow.
scored good on everything except the memory test,
Mm.
where they gave me 15 words I had to remember,
Mm.
and then uh, I didn't edit these, so I'm not sure what's what yet.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, my memory is not that great.
all
This is PTSD checklist, asking like personal questions, avoiding memories, thoughts, or feelings related to the stressful event.
right.
0 to 4, not at all the way up to extremely.
Mm.
Like personal question. Having strong negative feelings such as fear, horror, and loss of interest of activities you used to enjoy. Stuff like that. Okay, what else? What else? So, since you can't hear anything, I'll
Mm.
just. Okay, here's the office.
So these are some of the people that he's worked with.
There's a UFC fighter. There's Cain Velasquez, I saw. Looks like Stitch Duran.
I've met Stitch before.
What a guy.
Mm. Definitely.
Bunch of boxers, looks like. And it's been a while. It's they've been doing this for I think 10 years, he said.
Mm.
And yeah, after this is for the MRI.
Yeah. And did you get your results back yet, or you've got to wait a little
Nothing yet.
while?
Yeah, it was actually more here. I had to close my eyes and balance on a squishy mat.
Mm.
It was actually hard with my eyes closed because the mat wasn't steady, and I was like, oh.
Mm.
So that's it. And then I talked to, here's another test. Talked to, what's the name? That's where I was staying. Dr. Shoot, I forgot his name. Typical questions. It was more to get involved in the study. So I'm going to go back in a year. They're going to do the same tests, and then they're going to compare the results.
Yep. Okay.
And the next time I go...
So you got to wait 12 months before you get a proper reading of everything.
Well, he said I could definitely call them and get my results now.
Yeah.
Or whenever.
Yeah. And I would imagine you'd be interested to find out what they are.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I already got the MRI while I was here, probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
They said my brain's fine.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. And I don't think they did a different MRI. I think there's only one brain MRI that they do, so I wouldn't expect different results to that. But there's other tests. They test for different type of proteins or something.
Yeah.
And stuff. So maybe the blood test will show something different.
Because with a lot of
mine's mild. I have MTBI, mild brain injury. It's more emotional disturbance and things like that, mental stuff.
Okay.
So I don't expect much. And there's people that question and they think I'm bullshitting. Like my mom goes, "Oh, what are you gonna do if the tests come back negative? How are you gonna explain your behavior?" I'm like, if that's the way you think, I don't even have to justify it. But I got a free trip out of it. Vegas was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's not really my scene, if I could be honest. I definitely tried to keep busy. Spent some time at the pool, walked up and down the block. But I actually was regretting the second night there because they only put me up for the one night. So the second night I had to stay up, and my flight wasn't until the next morning.
We've all been there, brother.
I didn't want to get into too much trouble.
I've spent like 30 hours in a Philippines airport and stuff like that before. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. You just do everything really slow. Like if you need the toilet, you go to the toilet the other side of the bloody venue and just you drag your feet, like just drag that 30 hours out. I remember one time, it was like 24 hours I got stuck in an airport this other time, and I got really drunk. And then it was like 6 hours left. But when you're drunk but tired? And I was just like, fuck, I don't want to pass out and miss my flight. So I fucking sat around and like one eye open, waiting around for my flight. Lesson learned, I never did that again, you know what I mean? So I feel you. I know what it's like to get stuck in an airport. We'll go through some Philippine stories one time, man, because I got some good ones from over there. But so we'll move on to the next segment. Ben Askren, did you see the video of him when he's out of the hospital?
With his shirt off?
Yeah. I mean, one, I'm glad that he's alive and he's obviously like well, because he's there talking and even though he had a small weight, he's hopeful. He's obviously, he's ready to use this to inspire other people because he's like, look at me, look at the position I'm in. If I can get out, he's like, watch what happens. If I can get out and train and get myself healthy, there's no reason other people can't do it. So I got to really commend him for that. And I think it's a good way to view it as well, that taking this negative and moving it into a positive. Because, like, man, he looked like he just left Auschwitz. Like, he did not look well. I mean, but in the face, he looked sprightly in the face, but his body's obviously gone through fucking hell and back. So, I'm happy he's pulling through, and I wish him the best. Anything?
Same. Yeah, I kind of said it before. I think Ben would agree. It's hard to feel fortunate to have suffered trauma.
Mm.
And yet, everybody who survives a life-changing experience,
Mm.
they're changed.
Mm.
You're either going to let it ruin you, or you're going to somehow figure out a way to make it a net positive.
Yeah.
Not to discount the trauma,
Yeah.
but to somehow,
He's gonna use it to like inspire other people.
they say something like roses growing out of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
obviously, like if you were like he nearly died, man, and it's just any experience where someone goes through something where they've nearly died. You know, I can only imagine that it's gonna make him cherish the fact that they're not dead. You know what I mean? And just yeah, I mean,
man.
I'm glad that he's pulled through.
He's on one hand my worst nightmare in the cage
Yeah.
because his wrestling so good. On the other hand, I became a fan of him because he's unapologetic
Mm.
about his style.
Yeah.
He said, even after he got knocked out by Masvidal,
Mm.
you know. So on one hand, not that I hate him, it's just that
Mm.
he's my enemy, so to speak. My
Stylistically wise.
my nemesis. There you
Yeah.
go. On the other hand, as I've aged and come to appreciate the whole game
Mm.
of MMA, not just being a striker who wants to win
Yeah.
against the grappler,
Yeah.
but now I'm a mixed martial artist trying to better myself,
Yeah.
learning grappling, staying sharp in the striking, improving grappling, improving everything, appreciating the other side of the fighting, which is the coaching,
Yeah.
the managing, the mental, which Ben Askren, he's had podcasts, he used to do like Facebook lives every day or Instagram lives, motivational Monday he had.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to put that on my calendar now. I know he's gonna be spitting out gold,
Yeah. I agree.
and he's a family man.
Yeah.
And with what the way that my life has turned out, I can't help but be envious
Yeah.
or
Well, you're still a young man,
be
Master Lukey.
appreciative
You're still a young man. There's a lot of time to make things happen. I
that
just something.
you
Sorry,
know,
go on.
he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
Um, that that Midwestern American hardworking. This is he's not a genius. He's
Yeah.
just he's got a simple core set of values
Yeah.
that obviously took him very far. And whether he does natural healing or not, he's where he's at. He survived,
Mm.
and I just like you, James. I wish him the best. I don't think he should ever get on the mat again. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but it looks like they fucking sawed him in half and then put him back together again,
Yeah. Well, he had a.
like a can.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened, because he had a lung transplant. So he's breathing through a dead man's lungs. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like, and the mere fact that his body managed to take them as well, because a lot of times with, when you transplant parts from other people, sometimes your body can reject it. So it's fortunate that it took. But he's obviously super tough, super determined. He wouldn't be a Ben Askren otherwise, and yeah, like I reckon he provided everything goes, everything healing wise goes well, I think he'll make something positive out of this. Because coming from what he's saying already, that seems to be the direction where he's going with, and he gets mad respect from me for doing that. Like I tip my hat to the guy. So next, well, actually, before we move on, Ben Askren fought Jake Paul. How do you think yourself would go against Jake Paul? But we'll go kickboxing instead of boxing.
In kickboxing against Jake Paul, I don't do boxing. I don't mind.
Yeah, boxing, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
do boxing.
Because how tall are you, Luke? You're
6'1".
6'1". Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I think you're in the same height.
Yeah, he's a bit beefier.
Mm.
I've heard rumors or theories or accusations that he's enhanced.
Mm.
I would have to say that he's so dedicated
Mm.
to boxing that at this moment, if we sparred right now, he'd have the advantage.
Mm.
In Master Lukey's League of Champions, I would give him, because I'm not a fan of the worked matches. I think he's sus. I would give him at most a 69.
Mm.
But then because I'm so rusty, I might only get in the 40s
But
or the 30s.
what about a prime version of you?
Prime Master Lukey versus Jake Paul. I'm going to be very active. I'm going to be cutting angles, and his power will get him some points, but he won't connect with me nearly as much as he would with somebody who's trying to fight him in a boxing match. If you think of the guys who fought him the best, that he took to a decision, they, my opinion, were on the take, but they were more approaching it like I'm thinking, which is strategically rather than just trying to fight, get a knockout. When you put yourself in the position to knock somebody out, you're in the position to get knocked out. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, true.
So
unless you're like a Deporia where you're like reading them and then catching someone.
The reason why Topuria is getting away with it, because he's a black belt in striking, and a lot of these other guys are like brown belt. They're like one level below, or they're chinny.
Yeah, yeah.
They can't take the punch. He's very confident in the pocket because he knows that if there's a trade-off, the other guys can definitely go down.
So I thought I'd mention as well with the Jake Paul. There's a lot of strong rumors going around that he is going to fight Anthony Joshua. Which I just think,
oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Like if anyone,
I'd like to see them next to each other.
Yeah. Oh, bruh, he would dwarf Jake Paul. Like he's a legit heavyweight. I think that if there's people out there that care about Jake Paul, they should tell him not to do that. Because that could, yeah. And there's so many people itching for Jake Paul to get hurt as well, especially after what he did to, Uncle Mike. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people were not happy with that. So I could imagine, I think, I mean, look what he did to Francis Ngannou. And I think Ngannou would absolutely, have his way with Jake Paul. And Ngannou's a massive guy, and he cartwheeled him. So, like, I think Jake Paul, you never know. I mean, things could happen. And Jake, I'll mention this as well. Anthony Joshua said that he'll be throwing his last punch, like I guess competitively, this year. This will be his final year for Anthony Joshua. So,
wow.
I mean, I guess it will either be, if he can't get the Fury fight, he'll get that Jake Paul fight and then, cash in, get an easy knockout and sail off in the sunset. So you never know. Crazy. I was going to say crazier things have happened, but probably not. Is there anything you wanted to add on to that, or you happy to?
Yeah, Jake Paul's an issue with me because to me it exposes the corpse that
Mm,
is boxing.
mm,
That he's the biggest name in boxing,
yeah.
or
Look,
the biggest draw in boxing, or even an idea in boxing. It just proves to me how corrupt. I think all his matches are worked,
yeah.
manufactured,
I
whatever you want to say.
yeah. I mean, uh,
Sore subject, I guess. I don't know.
for me, that's where you and I differ because I think they are real fights. I just think he's fighting guys that are past their prime, and he's bigger than.
Mm.
And I think you know, for a guy that didn't box amateur and that is a Disney kid, the guy can fight. He definitely can box, but he is no like elite level world champion level boxer. And I mean, so he shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Guys that are generally they start boxing when they're 6 years old and then box their whole life. You ain't gonna catch that. And I mean, I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head was Deontay Wilder. He started boxing like
Mm.
22, but
Wow.
he's a freak and like a
Yeah.
physical specimen. And he's not a very clean or technical boxer,
Right.
but he hits like he has a cannon.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I think yeah. Anyway, I mean, if he can't beat bloody Tyson Fury's brother, he ain't touching Anthony
Mm.
Joshua.
Yeah. Well, look at the state of the fight game. It's I'm just hating on him.
Yeah,
Get it when you get it while you can, where you
yeah.
can.
Fair enough.
Um,
I get it.
is boxing corrupt? I think so. But
Boxing's definitely
it's
corrupt, but
it's hard to accept that something. You think of the martial arts. You think of Bushido,
yeah,
the warrior spirit, something that's supposed to be honorable.
yeah,
It's hard to come to terms with that. It's been like corrupted or taken over by an industry or a promoter.
yeah,
That's really what we're looking at. We're looking at an industry now where there's a bottom line
yeah,
that's more important than everything else above the line because all they're looking for is that number at the bottom.
yeah. But I mean, like, there's always been throughout history. I would imagine there'd be immoral martial artists. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I agree. As far as martial arts, you should have a certain code and etc. I
Right.
get that, but there's people that always would have exploited that to their
Mm.
advantage. And with
The
Jake Paul,
Sith.
yeah, yeah, fair. I think with Jake Paul, like he was pretty famous before boxing, like, and that's obviously why. So he's
Right.
leveraging his fame, and he's putting himself at risk. Yes, fighting guys that are older and blah blah blah, but so there's some give and take, and I'm just being devil's advocate. But I
Yep.
think if he fights Anthony Joshua, he could get seriously hurt, seriously hurt. If not fucking killed in there or something like that. Like I don't think that that's a good idea at all. But if he has the
Mm.
balls to get into there, like I'll tip my hat to him. But
Nice.
did you get a chance to? Did you see or hear anything about the Robert Whittaker and Reinier
Yep.
de fight?
I watched it. I did watch it. Yep.
Yeah, nice. What did you
Nice and
think?
early. So, let's see. Couple things. One thing. See if I can pull this up. Um, One thing I would say is that I think Whitaker, he, I can't figure it out. Is he a karate guy?
Yeah,
He is.
he is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's got decent awareness. The karate guys, they it's a true martial art.
mm,
Whether they, even though they don't practice the ground fighting, real karate is actually a complete art,
mm.
meaning they have grappling, which is
Did they?
where judo come from? Well, they all have the origin, the same origin, where it's like the karate focus more on the striking, the judo focus more on the jiu-jitsu focus more on the
Mm.
on the um, on the grappling, but they all come from the same core.
Yeah.
And you could see a little bit in the forms they hid the what are they, the techniques
Mm.
in the forms. So they do things where you don't actually realize that you're looking at a grappling move. It's just like the hands are moving in
Mm.
a crazy way,
Yeah.
Um, what I'm going to show you here is some footwork, and there was moments when Whittaker, what is it, Alt S? Yes. Okay. Whittaker could have, remember when he knocked De Ritter down
Mm.
with that right hand? Now that was such a looping right hand. If he could learn, I'm going to show you here. This is the basic footwork.
Mm.
Okay. And now here I'm showing, they call it sitting down on the cross. Okay. I'm a little bit off camera here. Okay. So some people think of it like a split squat or a stepping lunge.
Mm.
This is a top secret Master Lukey training video that you guys are getting a sneak peek at here.
Much appreciated, brother.
The idea is, it does come from the traditional martial arts. They call it your root.
Yeah.
When you have a root and you punch somebody, they're literally running into the earth
Mm.
because the punch or the impact goes through your arm, right? For every action,
Mm.
there's an opposite and equal reaction. That's a law of physics. So however much force goes into your target when you punch,
Yeah.
the equal amount goes into you.
Yeah.
It's like an explosion. So the energy travels into through your hand, through your forearm, through your elbow, through your shoulder, through your core, down to the floor.
Yeah.
And when you throw your power punch, if your opposite foot is not rooted, meaning flat,
Mm.
and your hip and leg is not bent, get a little further here, then the energy will be dispersed.
Mm.
And that would be the difference between knocking somebody down,
Mm.
like he did to Reinier,
Yeah.
and knocking them dead.
Yeah. You still
So
got good footwork there, brother.
so
So.
look at my I tried to freeze it right at the extension of the punch. This is a tiny bit after.
Yeah.
What you could see potentially is how my hip,
Yeah.
my rear hip,
Yeah.
and my rear shoulder
Yeah.
are actually in front.
Yes.
They've crossed over the center line.
Mm.
Now, let's see if we'll go Ilia Taporia. Heads. Okay. Ilia Taporius. Oh, wait, we might not be able to watch this, right?
Not 100. If it's not through the UFC, it might be alright.
It's MMA Junkie.
It should be alright.
Okay. Let's see Ilia Taporia if he can sit down on this punch. Okay. I'm choosing this freeze frame right here because it serves my purpose. But you could see how his shoulders are barely square.
Mm.
Hasn't turned over. All right, let's get a little zoom out a little bit so you could see him. See his footwork here. Okay, running, running, running. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Mm.
He hasn't sat down on his punch.
Yeah, his weight is on his front
Okay.
foot instead of on
It's
his back.
supposed to be on the front foot, but he's supposed to be sitting. See how his leg is bent here?
Yeah. When
Okay.
when I box, I always got told to have my weight on the back foot, so you have your weight on the not too much, but slightly on the back. It's what you call putting your weight on the hammer. So you're
Oh,
saying have more on the front foot?
what I'm saying is to get full power,
Hmm.
to maximize, not just most power.
Hmm.
All, math.
Hmm.
Talking about math. Full power would be sitting down, meaning his butt's gonna go lower like a squat.
Yeah.
Okay. And his foot's flat, that's fine. Back leg not necessary. But when you do that, when you sit and this leg becomes bent, your back, hip,
Hmm.
and shoulder can fully cross and you won't fall off balance because this front leg
Hmm.
is bent as much as possible. You have the most energy to be able to stop yourself from falling.
Hmm.
What you see Robert Whittaker do is he'll punch with his back hand and his back leg will follow until it comes all the way up to be the front leg.
Hmm.
So if he starts with the left leg forward, he throws a right cross, he ends up with his right leg forward.
Yeah. So he's switching stances between the punch.
He's Yep, the punch is carrying. They believe they call it casting.
Hmm.
You cast your punch and your body follows. My problem with that is for the split second where you're
Crossing over.
even, yep,
Yeah.
you're vulnerable. And
Yeah.
then also because you're not sitting, you're only using the weight
Yeah.
of your body, but not the muscles,
Hmm.
which you do more so when you sit down on your punch. I was impressed with De Ritter.
Hmm.
I was impressed with, apparently he's got a great jab.
Hmm.
That saved him a little bit.
Hmm.
And he's got new wave grappling. They got 1995 jiu-jitsu and they got new wave grappling,
Hmm.
which came about in the last 5 to 10 years. It's a different strategy
Hmm.
or in your moves or skill moves list, different
Yeah.
moves list. And it's also a math where they figure out these are the best moves. Rainier's got them. I would like to see him versus Hamzat. No
Hmm.
matter who Hamzat beats Duplessis or not,
That's the one
I
you want
just
to
want to
see.
see the grappling exchanges. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good. I mean, obviously, being an Aussie, I'm going for Whittaker all the way. But as far as the UFC goes, and as far as health for the division, it's probably better that De Ritter wins. Because you
Mm.
got new blood in the top there, and a win over Whittaker's massive. That puts him right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, I'm going for me Aussies. But yeah, it was a great fight. It was
Hey, I'm
close
not
as well.
against Robbie. I like him. Yeah, he
Yeah.
has good moments.
It was a close fight, and yeah, it was a good fight. So, I mean, it's not like he got hurt or everyone got out of
Mm.
there okay. Everyone wins.
Mm.
I guess the Ritter just wins a bit more.
Yeah, and Bobby Knuckles probably has a big contract too, so they're not trying to cut that double check.
Yeah, that really. I wonder what do you reckon's next for Whitaker then?
I would say um, a couple of big names.
Do you reckon? Well, what big names would you give him? I mean, like, let's have a look.
Yeah,
UFC
who's there?
middleweight.
Depending on who wins, he could fight Dricus.
No, no, I mean
Let's
for Whitaker. Oh, you mean
Yeah,
Whitaker versus the loser
if
of that
Dricus
fight?
loses, if Dricus loses,
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Bobby's got to be sliding down. I don't know who is even in there.
I mean, that's a good point. If I mean,
He
what he
can't
could,
fight a top contender because he just lost.
yeah, but he could. You did make a good point of like he could fight the loser of that fight. Um, um so yeah, that's a good point. But where are we?
Yo.
Outside of that, I don't know, man. That's a hard one. But I feel for him. I feel for him. I mean, after that loss, the chances of him ever getting back to a title shot are pretty much done. Um, but he's still healthy enough to cut a few checks, so, maybe can get in there, make a little bit of money.
Yep.
All right, Master Lukey, is there anything else you want to touch on before?
We're coming up on 90 minutes, eh? That's good.
Yeah.
My old strength coach, he said, always leave the gym thinking you could have did more. Give you a reason to come back. But make sure you guys go to masterlukey.com and vote on John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Give us your opinions on the scoring system. Remember, you're imagining that they fought, and you're giving them a score based on how they fought.
Yeah.
From 1
Your
to 100.
perceived outcome of the fight.
Yeah. You just have to use your imagination a little bit. I was thinking maybe I could put a sample fight up. We could all score together.
Yeah.
But let's just give it a test run, and maybe we'll make this a weekly thing where the lads get involved.
I'll mention out the winner as well for our giveaway because and I'll send that in the next day or two. Yeah. So what is it? The AS.
What'd they win?
A signed card by Henry Cejudo. Sorry, I was blanking there for a second. Yeah, so a hand signed card from Henry Cejudo. So I'll send that out to the winner in the next day or so.
How did they get into this?
So
this pot?
I've got a few questions for you, but the ones that were sent onto the YouTube channel gives you a chance to win. So the one that I'm going to pick out is goes to ASM1128. So I'll leave a comment on his as well to get in contact with me and get him to hit me up on Instagram and send over the address and I'll ship that over. So
ASN asked you the best question, or did you pick it out at random?
No, you asked the best one in my opinion. So,
nice.
There was some other good ones as well, but we might do another one for next week, and I'll send out a Daniel Cormier.
Good job, lads. So. Remember, just keep that in mind. Now we know. Now you know. If you want to get the prize, ask the good questions.
Ask the good question, and that was a good one. So I appreciate it, and I
appreciate you, James.
I appreciate you too, Master Lukey, and
looking
to the lads. Thank you for coming again for another episode of Master Lukey Mondays, and you have yourself a great Monday. All right, take care.